see it on the big billboard out in center field as we get set for the Yankees to come to the plate here in the first inning. And here's their lineup. Brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you've got to live Moss. Derek Jeter leads it off. He's at short. Followed by Curtis Granderson in center. A-Rod at third with Robinson Cano cleaning up. Mark Teixeira at first. Nick Swisher in right. Raul Ibanez has been getting more work than he thought coming into the season because of the injury to Gardner. Then you've got Russell Martin and Ivan Nova, who has done nothing but win since coming to the big leagues. And here's a guy who spent 13 months on the shelf, but he's back after shoulder surgery and making his fourth start.
You talked about him being 6'10". He's one of 7 pitchers who have been 6'10" and pitched in the major leagues. Not the tallest, however. Teammate John Roush is at 6'11". His fourth start in 13.5 months. Joe talked about his shoulder surgery, a four-seamer, a slider, and a changeup. And, of course, he's a very bright guy. He's a Princeton grad. And Joe Girardi said he will tell his hitters, try to make them get the ball below the waist to hit Chris Young effectively.
Yeah, even with the size, 6'10", 260, he's not a guy that lights up a radar gun. In fact, he's the opposite. He's throwing 82 to 86 in his bid to make that full recovery from the shoulder surgery. Here's the Mets defense. Hairston, Neuenhuis, and Duda in the outfield left to right. Then right, Quintanilla, Valdespin, Daniel Murphy at first. Josh Tolley is the catcher, and Chris Young on the mound. Ike Davis was a late scratch. He took batting practice. He's been red hot. Had a grand slam on Monday, a 3-run home run last night, but he's got what they think may be food poisoning, so he's on the bench to start the night. And off we go. Here is Jeter, and there's the first pitch, chest high, and Jeter went after it. Strike one.
Of course, Jeter has been a hacker since breaking in 1996. That high fastball, no Yankee hitter is going to catch up to that fastball tonight.
How about the release point for a guy who's 6'10" and that big on the mound? It's got to be a different look as Jeter dumps one into center, and he's on to start the night. Jeter with career hit number 3,180, and he's on to add to that lifetime 375 average against the Mets.
Your point about the release point is absolutely right. It may be only 2 inches, 2.5 inches, but it always appears that Chris Young is throwing harder than he really is.
Here is Granderson, who has been pounding home runs since the start of last year, number 2 in the league in that category, behind Jose Bautista of the Blue Jays. And a check on Jeter, who's 5 of 6 trying to steal bases. And typically with a guy as big as Chris Young, you can run against him. Jeter stays put on strike one to Granderson.
We asked Joe Girardi if he's ever seen any pitcher in the major leagues over 6'5", a right-hander that is, with a good move to first. He said no.
First pitch a strike, and now the next from Young is popped up. Foul territory, and that's Murphy. First baseman hauls it in, 1 on 1 out.
Here's that delivery Joe and I were talking about. That reach at 6'10", obviously throws that ball differently, a lot higher than most guys, and it makes sense that he would have a tough time getting the ball down.
So now Alex Rodriguez is serenaded as he digs his way in. Homered here last night, but he, like the rest of this Yankees team, although the situation is not exactly right in this spot, there's a strike over the inside corner. It's unbelievable that the Yankees, as good a lineup as they have, and going on a 10-game winning streak, it's surprising to see how bad they've been with runners in scoring position all season long. It has baffled Kevin Long. It's baffled Joe Girardi and guys like Rodriguez and Cano and some of the game's most productive hitters. This team as a group is hitting .217.
Most statistics in baseball make sense. That one, inexplainable.
1 on 1 out. Rodriguez is fooled, comes up empty, strike 2.
That was a good slider cutting away from Rodriguez out of the strike zone. Good pitch.
So Rodriguez waiting for an 0-2 pitch. 1 on, 1 out. A ball in the dirt. Tolley keeps it at the plate. That's ball 1. Chris Young is coming back from the same type situation that his teammate Johan Santana came back from, although Chris Young has done it with less recovery time. Johan Santana around 19 months really from beginning to end, and Chris Young was 13 months. Story's been very good here in 2012 for Santana. There goes Jeter. Pitch in the dirt, throw down way too late. Stolen base number 6 for Derek Jeter, and he's in scoring position for Rodriguez with a 2-2 count.
Smart play by a smart player. Cutter, tough pitch to handle for Tolley. Jeter with a great jump. No chance for Tolley to get him. Tolley's thrown out about a quarter of the runners trying to steal this year. Not Jeter.
So now you can go back to that runners in scoring position statistic. And Rodriguez is .215 in this type situation, trying to produce a run. 2-2 pitch. Little clunker to the right side. Easy for Murphy. To the bag. 2 out. To third is Jeter, with Cano coming up. And we'll give you tonight's Ford Go Further keys to the game.
For the Yankees, go get them, drive them in. Most teams say get them on and get them in. Not the Yankees. They get up to the plate and get them in from the plate. As far as the Mets are concerned, and this crowd really appreciating the type ball that Terry Collins' team is playing, keep up the gritty play. And we talked about it in the opening, and that's the best way to explain this team.
And you and I were talking about it before the opening when we were sitting here doing our little score sheets, getting ready for the game. We saw a video of Terry Collins, and I don't think it's talking out of school to say you looked at the picture of Collins and said, this guy's for real.
He is for real.
He has squeezed as much as he can out of this club that comes in 7 games over 500. They've won 4 straight, 2.5 out in the NL East. Jeter coming down the line at third. The infield is shifted over to the right, playing Cano to pull. And Collins in his second season, after going 77 and 85 last year, is creeping closer to his personal 500 mark. That's a strike, and the count 1-1. Collins was manager in Houston in the mid-90s. Then he went to the Angels. Had an 11-year gap as a major league manager before he got the nod with Sandy Alderson as GM leading into last season. That pitch is over but low, ball 2.
We talked about it before. Terry telling us and telling everybody that he has learned so much from his earlier managerial days.
That's Bob Guerin to our right of Terry Collins, his left, 5 years the manager out in Oakland. Here's a 2-1 to Cano. High fastball at 85, and Cano can't catch up.
It's 85. Looks like it's 91.
Counts 2-2. Trying to get around that leadoff hit by Jeter in his stolen base. Got Granderson, got Rodriguez, and that is a foul ball left field side to keep it 2-2. So if Rodriguez is struggling with runners in scoring position, what do you say about a guy who's considered the most dangerous hitter in this Yankee lineup, Robinson Cano, hitting 145 with runners in scoring position, and he's trying to cash in on that leadoff hit by Jeter. Not close, full count. On deck is Teixeira.
Think about all the major league second basemen. How many can hit fourth in the lineup? Not many. Ryne Sandberg did it for the Chicago Cubs 30 years ago. MVP, Hall of Famer. Not many second basemen in that slot.
Here's a fly ball into left. That will send the left fielder back to the track, and Hairston has it to end the inning. So Young gets around the leadoff hit by Jeter. Mets coming up, bottom of the first, no score. Starting lineup for the Mets brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Nieuwenhuis will be followed by Jordany Valdespin, then David Wright at third base, having a great year. He's hitting third. Lucas Duda in right. Daniel Murphy slides from the number 2 spot to the number 5 spot with Ike Davis checking out of this game early. Scott Hairston in left. Quintanilla the shortstop. Josh Tolley the catcher. And Chris Young pitching and batting ninth. And here's a guy, Tim, I said it before, all he's done since getting a legitimate chance in this rotation is win for the New York Yankees. Ivan Nova.
Win, 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 and win big. He was 16-4 last year. He's 9-2 this year. Joe Girardi saying the reason he's had problems with right-handed batters this year, he's not pitching inside enough. We'll see if he does it tonight.
That misses off the outside part for a ball to Nieuwenhuis. There are the numbers this season. Among rookies with enough plate appearances, Nieuwenhuis is third in the big leagues with his batting average. He is trailing the lead guy, whose name is Mike Trout. They were talking about in our pregame show Trout hitting .338.
Unbelievable.
At the start of the day, and I agree with the guys, and I know you do too. He has turned that team around since he came up at the end of April. 1 ball 2 strikes on Nieuwenhuis. He's popped 6 home runs in this his rookie year. Tops that one over to first, and Teixeira to the bag. 1 out. We'll give you more on the 25-year-old right-hander.
Ivan Nova has been the king of the road for the last year. In fact, it's a little more than a year. June 20th of last year, when he lost his last game on the road. Here we are. This is his 16th start on the road since then. The mystery is, why do right-handed batters hit .317 against him? We talked about that, and he has had certainly instant success his first 2 years for the Yankees.
Here's Valdespin. Jordany is given a spark to this team while they've waited for a couple of guys. Ronnie Cedeno, who's been activated off a minor league rehab stint. They're waiting for Ruben Tejada. He hits a rocket out to second base, and Cano makes the play. 2 out. Now 8 of 26 over his last 9+ games is Valdespin. Here the Yankees defensively. Ibanez in left, Granderson in center, Swisher in right. Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, Teixeira. The catcher is Russell Martin. Ivan Nova is 2/3 of the way through the first inning.
To give you an idea of how accomplished the Yankee infield is, their total salary is $81.1 million a year. That is more than 12 major league teams. The $81.1 million.
That group of Rodriguez, Jeter, Cano, Teixeira, and the Yankees are getting production. That group is among all infields in baseball, number 1 in average and home runs. Here's Wright. Strike 1. David Wright is hitting .361. Red hot Joey Votto, the only guy in front of him from the Cincinnati Reds in the NL. That's strike 2. And he worked the right-handed batter inside. You noticed during Nova's warm-up pitches before the start of this game, he was working that side of the plate.
Yeah, I mean, he was intentionally, it was like Joe Girardi said, look, keep that in mind, the inside part of the plate to right-handers.
That one's down and away. Wright strikes out, and it is a quick first inning for Ivan Nova. He's won 5 straight starts. There's that song we all remember. No score after 1. here is sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. The Jackie Robinson Rotunda here at Citi Field, a beautiful ballpark. They've been playing here now 4 years. Opened in 2009, the same year the Yankees went into new Yankee Stadium, and the number 42 retired across baseball in honor of the great Jackie Robinson. And with a shift on in the infield, ball one misses up and away to Mark Teixeira. It'll be Teixeira, Swisher, and Ibanez with the left side of the infield wide open. Ball two. I think this factored into his thinking earlier in the year when he was trying to hit the ball to all fields and trying to satisfy others that he left unnamed. Abandoning his pull first mentality, which got him the big deal with the Yankees in the first place. And his numbers have been better since doing what he's always done, which is hit home runs and drive in runs since coming to the big leagues. That's fouled back 2-2. Since Teixeira's debut in 2003, he's number 3 in driving in runs across all of the big leagues, behind Pujols and David Ortiz. Fouls that one back, still 2-2. That's just high. Full count. Teixeira came up with Texas in 03. Was traded from Texas to Atlanta in 07. Was with the Angels in half of 08. 4th year with the Yankees, and he is the first out of the 2nd inning as Valdespin comes over and makes the play. Let's go to Matt Vasgersian for a DirecTV game break.
Joe, 1989 World Series rematch. Oakland A's have been hot winners in 8 of their last 10. They're off to a good start today. Josh Reddick's team-leading 17th home run of the year has the swinging A's on top of the Giants. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Back to Joe and Tim.
All right, Matt, you think the Red Sox would like to have Reddick back? He was in the Andrew Bailey deal, bringing the closer to the Red Sox, and Bailey went down the final week of spring training, and they hope to get him back in the second half. Ball one high.
Do you think the White Sox would like to have Gio Gonzalez back? In fact, Nick Swisher was traded from Oakland, and the White Sox had to give up Gio Gonzalez. And now Gio Gonzalez, the left-handed pitcher for the Washington Nationals, one of the best pitchers in the game.
Ball and a strike on Nick Swisher, who's hitting .263 with 1 out, nobody on. Out in front of that pitch, and Valdespin from shallow right has to use his arm to get the out. I guess typically you'd have to use your arm in that position, but he had to really light up the radar gun to get out number 2 and keep the bases empty for Ibanez.
You know, it was really nice. You talking about the Jackie Robinson Rotunda, and it's particularly salient on a night like tonight with Chris Young pitching. His senior thesis was at Princeton, and it was about the impact of Jackie Robinson and integration of racial stereotypes in America. So how appropriate is it for Young to be pitching for the New York Mets with Jackie Robinson's Rotunda about 100 yards from here?
And the first male athlete to be Ivy League Rookie of the Year in 2 sports. Contrary to Bill Webb, our director's guess, as the other one was tennis, it was actually basketball at the height of 6'10". That was the other sport. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 out, nobody on. Nobody should ever be subjected to inside jokes while listening to a baseball telecast, but I just did it to you. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ibanez.
You did. But there have been 14 professional basketball players to play baseball, one of whom was extraordinarily popular in this town.
A strikeout ends the inning.
Dave DeBusschere pitched for the White Sox in 1963 and 4.
You are a fountain of information on Saturday, June 23rd. Charlie Sheen must be showing up later. No score. Budweiser, great times are waiting. Grab some buds. It was a quick and easy first inning for Ivan Nova. They're the umpires. The crew chief is Tim McClellan. He's behind home plate. Ryan Runge, Ted Barrett, and Marvin Hudson, who worked the plate last night over at third. Nova back to work, and he hits the strike zone at the knees to Lucas Duda to start this second. Ted Barrett, who is the second base umpire, has a great distinction for his work. Are you aware of it, Mr.
No.
Trivia over there?
No, I'm not. No.
The only man to be home plate umpire for 2 perfect games. David Cohn in '99 and Matt Cain last week.
Oh, that's great.
Out in San Francisco, and Ted Barrett was back there. That one bounces in, and the count 1-2 on Duda, who's hit 11 home runs.
David Cohn against the Montreal Expos in 1999. I think it was July 19th. Coney never pitched a no-hitter for the Mets, but a perfect game for the crosstown Yankees.
Duda grounds one to the right of Cano, and gosh, does he make that look easy? 1 out.
Look at that. It's a tough play. Nothing to it, huh, Robbie? Wow.
A look at it, normal speed, and the guy named after Jackie Robinson makes the play to his right. So with 1 out, nobody on, the first 4 retired by Nova. The batter will be Daniel Murphy, who hasn't homered all year. So obviously you need to try different things, and I'm noticing the stash on the face of Daniel Murphy trying to change his luck. He's got the most plate appearances of anybody in the big leagues without going deep. 282. And the count 2-0. Guy who hit 320 last year, he's 270 right now. 2-0 pitch is fouled left side, 2-1.
See, that's the type pitch that Dave Hudgens, the hitting instructor for the Mets, was talking about. That's not a good pitch to swing with the count 2-0. It's a marginal strike. You've got to get the ball in the fat part of the plate when you're ahead in the count.
There's a better pitch, and it's 2-2.
That 2-0 swing would have been understandable if the count were 0-2 or 1-2, but not 2 balls and no strikes. That old saying about make the pitcher come to you. Got to do it.
That one is ripped foul. That was Dave Hudgens, who is the hitting coach here for the Mets. Mets have Tim Tuffle, who was part of the '86 Magic, over at third. Tom Goodwin over at first. Here's a 2-2 pitch. That skips in and off the body of Russell Martin, a full count. The one guy who I don't hear talked about a lot is Dan Warthen, the pitching coach who's been here since 2008, and he is doing clearly a remarkable job with the group he's got now, and
fabulous job.
I think he's done the most with what he's been given year after year since '08.
No question about it.
Here's a 3-2, and the count will stay full. So Collins took the job at the beginning of last year and was wise enough to keep Warthen around. Hoping for something good out of Murphy, and it's a 1-out walk. Mets have their first base runner of the night. 1-on, 1-out for Scott Hairston, who's playing in place of the injured Jason Bay, who is out after suffering a concussion. He's back with the ball club. That's good news. He was back yesterday, and they believe that this concussion isn't as bad as the one that robbed him of his final 2 months back in 2010. So they're hoping that he can get rid of the post-concussion syndrome and the symptoms that come with it and get back on the active list. 1-on, 1-out. Strike one.
Thankfully, the medical world is learning so much more about concussions and those concussed, much more than they knew even 5 years ago. In football, Joe, you know, your partner Troy Aikman Was a subject of, what, 7 concussions?
Yeah, I think he might have been a few more recorded. But who knows how many went by undetected.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a double play ball, and Jeter misses it. Murphy will turn and go to third with good base running, and it's first and third, 1 out.
Daniel Murphy has been accused of being over-aggressive on the bases. That's an error on Derek Jeter. But I'll tell you, this is outstanding. With 1 out, running hard to second base, sees the error, the ball floating behind Jeter, and Murphy head first into third base. That is excellent base running by Daniel Murphy.
And the kind of stuff this Mets team has been doing all season long.
And needs to do, and they understand that they need it. And Terry Collins and his staff made that foremost with this team in spring training.
Ronnie Cedeno came off the DL and started last night. Tonight it's Omar Quintanilla. He really filled a role for this club when they had both Cedeno and Tejada on the DL. That's a fastball up and away, ball 1. So it is an error on Jeter, his 6th. This is a Yankee team that defensively has committed the fewest errors in the big leagues. It's only their 28th. Check on the runner, Hairston at first. We'll see what the Mets can do with this opportunity. Could have been an inning-ending double play. Instead, first and third, 1 out. Quintanilla added as a minor league free agent. Waiting for a 1-0. A ball and a strike. Here are the guys who have made starts at short for the Mets this season. Their main man is Ruben Tejada, who will come back next week if all goes well with his rehab assignment with a strained quad. The guy at the plate now, Quintanilla. Cedeno's back. Justin Turner and Valdespin, whose natural position is second base. He's also played some outfield. Here is a 1-1 pitch. Instead, the step to third, look to first. Nobody budged.
We asked Joe Girardi in our meeting tonight if Nova had a good move to first. He said, you know what he does that's as good as a good move? He holds the ball and holds it so the runner at first can't time him and get a good jump to second base. A lot of pitchers could do that more often than they do. But sometimes it upsets their rhythm, and that's why they don't.
Breaking ball misses, ball 2. Pretty good pitch.
That was close.
Nova gets clarification from Tim McClellan. You can see why he liked it. But it's 2-1. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Time is granted awfully late. No pitch.
Yeah, that's what happens when a pitcher holds the ball that long. The hitter gets a little antsy as Nova holds it, holds it, holds it, timeout. So here a right-handed pitcher is trying to upset the timing of the guy at first, and he upsets the timing of the hitter.
He'll upset anybody he can wearing a Mets uniform right now, as a foul is off the glove of Martin. 2-2. Yankees are 41-28. They had that 10-game winning streak. Their starting pitching this month has been phenomenal. They come into tonight's game, however, having lost 3 in a row. The last 2 at home against Atlanta, and last night 6-4. Now at 2-2. And Quintanilla stays up there. Here's a look at the Yankees and their pitching over the last 13 games. During the 10-game winning streak, the ERA under 2. Over the last 3 losses, ERA just under 7. But Joe Girardi and see Tony Pena. There's Hiroki Kuroda, one of the 5 starters for the Yankees. They've suffered their fair share of injuries as well, and they're on top in the division. Here's a 2-2. Fouled back again. Pretty good battle between Nova and Quintanilla. Mets looking for the first run of the night. And Nova looking for his second strikeout. He found it. 2 out and a big strikeout of Quintanilla as Ivan Nova wins that battle. First and third, 2 down.
Looked like a cut fastball in on the hands right underneath the bat of Quintanilla.
So Omar was in the battle. He ends up back at the bat rack, and Josh Thole will try and salvage something out of the inning. He's the number 8 hitter with the pitcher Chris Young. It's one of the biggest jackets the Mets have ever had to buy in the on-deck circle. Here is Thole and a ball up and away.
It's a quadruple X long. You're 6'10". You need something like that. Huh, Chris?
Thole has driven in 7. Has not been hitting since coming off the DL June 1. He also suffered with the concussion. That's ball 2.
Ty Wigington of the Philadelphia Phillies. Ty plays a lot of positions: third, first, left field. He ran into him, slid into him, and that's how he got his concussion.
Thole on 2-0 takes a bit high, 3-0, and if Nova puts Thole on, it won't break his heart with Young coming up next. And that's a nice stat for Terry Collins. The most runs scored in baseball with 2 out.
I wonder if that was a hit sign for Terry Collins, putting one hand on top of the other. Pitcher on deck, maybe.
Pitched around him there with ball 4 outside. 2 walks in the inning, and the error has produced bases loaded, 2 out for Chris Young. And in case you ever wanted to know what Chris Young's walk up to the plate song is, it's Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. Golden opportunity here if he can put bat on ball. He does, but he bounces it to Jeter to end the inning. And Nova gets around the error and the 2 walks by getting his counterpart. No score after 2. Back to Flushing after a word from your local Fox station. in America is presented by Budweiser. Tough to beat walking around the city of New York during a weekend with no rain. There was some rain here yesterday. The weather couldn't be any better today. And here in the third inning with no score, it'll be Russell Martin, Ivan Nova, and Derek Jeter. 8, 9, and 1 hitters against Chris Young, who came up with Texas in 2004, went to the Padres in 2006. By the way, his second year, first full with Texas. Young went 12-7, was the Rangers Rookie of the Year. We had some decent seasons with San Diego. As this one's down toward the end of the bat, one pitch and one out. As Duda puts away that fly ball off the bat of Russell Martin, one away in the third.
Back in the last decade, the middle of the last decade, right around 2007, Sandy Alderson, who is now the general manager of the Mets, was also the general manager of the Padres at the time. He had Chris Young. He appreciated the meticulous care that he took about preparing for games. I mean, Chris does his own scouting report. Now, he listens to the scouts and the advanced guys and everything, but he draws up his own scouting report of how he's going to pitch the hitters. And that makes a lot of sense to me. As an example, if you're in a meeting and one guy throws a sinker and you're telling Chris Young how to keep the ball down, Chris Young doesn't have a sinker. So he's got to model the hitters against whom he faces to pitch him and pitch them like he pitches instead of somebody else.
He gets a strikeout, his second of the night, and he made quick work of Ivan Nova, the Yankee pitcher. 2 out.
I hope that was clear.
It wasn't.
It was not.
No,
okay. Well, I'll make it a little clearer. I mean, we've got Charlie Sheen coming in here. I've got to make it. What are you talking about?
No, it was good. I got it. And you're right.
He presents his own scouting report because his stuff is unique
to him,
to Chris Young.
Exactly. Those scouting reports where a lot of pitchers get together and you talk, those things are worthless. Worthless.
Doesn't matter what Dylan G does against the Yankees.
No, or Johan Santana.
2 out, nobody on. Jeter fouls it back. He went after a delivery that was up. And strike one. That was the key for the Yankees coming in. Make Young get the ball down. And Jeter did get a hit off a delivery that was up. His first time up, but he's seen pitches up around the letters, and he's gone after 3 of them. 2 fouls and a hit. Tolley really wants that slider. And he hits the outside corner. Now, he was begging Chris Young to throw that pitch with his eyes. The count 0-2. 4 now away from number 13 all time, Cal Ripken Jr. is Derek Jeter. 1-2. Granderson next. At some point tonight, we will talk about tomorrow night's pitching matchup, which is really a good one. Left side for David Wright. Shuffles, makes the stop, and the throw. Jeter's 1 for 2, and off we go to the bottom of the third here in Queens, where there is no score. Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. Learn more. Visit their website as Nieuwenhuis leads it off and takes a ball. The Mets left the bases loaded last inning. Ova did a nice job of getting around an error, and with that deliberate windup, he misses outside 2-0. Nova behind on the count, hits the outside corner, 2-1. Going to give you a game break after Nieuwenhuis does something to start this third with no score. Valdespin and David Wright, the next two hitters. Here's a 2-1. Up and away, 3-1. Nova walked 2. In that long second inning, and now he's behind on the count, 3-1 to Nieuwenhuis. That's down the left field line, slicing into the corner and gone. Home run for Nieuwenhuis, his 7th of the season. He goes the opposite way, just did keep it fair and rode it out to left. Mets lead 1-0 in the third.
We talked about Daniel Murphy and that marginal pitch. I mean, this is a nasty, sinking fastball from Ivan Nova on a 3-1 count, right on the black. What a piece of hitting, particularly on a 3-1 count as Nieuwenhuis homers for the first run in the ball game. Man, that's good hitting.
And for the Mets, that's just their 57th home run of the season. And Nieuwenhuis took that pitch over the outside part and drove it right down the line. So the Mets strike first, and here's a breaking ball strike to Valdespin, who bounced out his first time up. So 57 home runs for the Mets, while the Yankees have hit 108. Jammed, and Teixeira led right to the bag. Let's go for that game break. Here's Matt Vasgersian for a DirecTV game break.
Joe, what a finish in Philly. After Jonathan Papelbon blew his first save as a Philly, Jim Thome delivers his all-time Major League leading 13th career walk-off home run. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Back to Flushing and Joe and Tim.
Number 609 for Jim Thome, and he's had a great little stretch here where he's come back off the DL with a bad back, and he's pounding home runs again.
Little resurgence for Jim Thome.
1 out, nobody on, and a run home. David Wright takes the pitch in, the dirt, ball 1.
Well, he's back with his favorite hitting coach, Charlie Manuel. Charlie had him in the minor leagues when they were with Cleveland. He had him in the big leagues when Charlie was the manager at Cleveland. And here they are together again in Philadelphia.
Pitch down and away, the count 2-0 on David Wright. I said 2-0. It's 1-1 with that late strike call, and now a foul down the right field line that will get out of play. That strike 2. 1-2. David Wright struck out his first time, and he started this day with a .457 on base percentage. He is having a huge year with this Mets ball club, holding an option for a contract next year of $16 million. We'll talk about any extension over this next offseason.
Yeah, David does not want to talk about it or answer questions about it.
One out, nobody on, and a run in. That is up and in. 2-2 on Wright. Lucas Duda waits to hit next. Here's a 2-2. Strike 3 called over the inside corner. 2 out. And with that delayed strike call of Tim McClellan, looked like a good pitch.
Yes, right over the corner. And as Joe Girardi said, if he pitches inside, he'll pitch better tonight. And he has made an effort to pitch right-handed batters inside so far tonight.
Strikeout number 3 on the night. And there's the turnaround by Wright after that late strike 3 call by Tim McClellan, who's always done that. Breaking ball is in for a strike, and Wright was surprised to learn he was out number 2 here in the 3rd inning. That is ripped into right, a base hit. 1 hop, now 2 hops to Swisher. And a 2-out single by Lucas Duda, who's on with Murphy coming up. Daniel playing first base tonight. Walked his first time up. Showed good base running abilities when he went first to third on an error by Jeter on a ball hit by Hairston. That's why his uniform top is dirty, and he is trying to turn that 2-out single by Duda into something here in the 3rd. That's in for strike 1.
It's a long drought right there.
So since the middle of July last year, for a guy who can really hit, handle the bat, hard hit, and Cano is just a vacuum tonight. Made a great play on a ball earlier tonight. Now this one. He makes tough plays look easy. Neuenhuis took this pitch over the outside part and deposited it over the wall in left. Mets strike first. Subway Series in New York. 1-0. Mets on top.
He broke his own knee and ruined his career. That's still funny as hell.
Point is, anger took away something that I really loved. And I'm going to keep that from happening to you.
Hey, can I watch that again? I want to see if I still don't care.
This game gets into the 4th inning here in Queens. Leading it off is Curtis Granderson, and sitting in with the band tonight is Charlie Sheen, who has brought with him our old friend Todd Edward Zeal,
yes.
a one-time New York Met and New York Yankee down on the far end. How did you two meet? I don't get this.
You got to tell that one.
I'll have to tell the condensed version, right?
Okay, yeah, please.
I was lost in the bowels of Dodger Stadium, trying to get to my seat, and it was a cold night, and I see a guy in the indoor on-deck circle warming up, and I see Zeal on the back. I'm like, Todd Zeal, right? So I go down to talk to him, just shake his hand, have a great game, right? He's like, hey, Charlie, good to see you. I'll see you afterwards, maybe. Shots pulled foul. That's going to hurt somebody. Jeez. He goes up to bat. I go to this little, small concession stand. I look up at the television. He steps in. First pitch swinging. Hits a ball into the back of the bullpen. And I'm thinking my hand is the last one he touched. The magic hand, yes.
That's all true, except I was more thrilled to meet him. Go ahead. You got to call us? There's an out.
That's Granderson flying the ball into left field for out number 1. Go ahead.
So it was one of those days that I had no business hitting a home run. I walk up. I say to Todd Hundley, dude, you'll never guess who I just saw in the tunnel. Charlie Sheen. I gave him a hug. I pointed him to his seat. Next pitch, boom, home run.
Yeah. So you're here for a number of reasons. We've got Alex Rodriguez at the plate. He gets that reaction.
Right.
You're here because we showed a clip from a show that you have debuting at the end of the month on FX called Anger Management.
I brought you a gift.
Thank you very much.
Do I get one too?
Shameless plug. Shameless plug, right on.
A-Rod pops it up right side. That's Murphy drifting into foul territory, 2 out. Everybody obviously is aware of the success you had at your previous show, so you're going to get a lot of eyeballs tuning in first time out. How proud are you of what the product is on FX?
I'm extremely proud. This is a project I was involved in from its genesis, and I really I handpicked a lot of people, and I was part of the group that assembled the team, and I think we got something really special.
Is there going to be a Major League 5?
Well, we're working on 3 first.
3.
I'd probably be too old to do the 5th, or at least I'd be a manager and owner at that point. But we're definitely working on the 3rd.
Really?
Because the 3rd one that happened wasn't really the 3rd. It was kind of some other version.
Yeah, well, how does that even?
Maybe that's why I got confused.
Exactly.
Perhaps.
Yeah. No one told you there'd be math, right? But David has written a script. David Ward, who wrote the first one, he's written one that is very close to the original. It has the same innocence, the same locker room feeling,
I had a chance to interview you on radio a month or so ago, and I was taken by how much you are a legitimate fan of baseball.
I'm a student of the game, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I was talking to Reggie Jackson. Let me just get that name. And we were talking about this gentleman right here, Robinson Cano. And I said, Reggie, if you can debate me, go for it. I think he's got the best swing in the game. And he said, not just that, he's the best ball player in the game. This guy.
And I would say, and Tim, you and I have talked about it, certainly the most feared hitter in this lineup.
We've seen him make 2 defensive plays tonight out of sight.
Yeah, and the bomb he hit last night is still going, right?
Yeah.
No, but it's funny because we talked about that. I was at Game 691.
Right.
Yes.
And then we were reliving Game 6 of this past World Series.
Unbelievable. And you'd had that in your hip pocket for 25 years, right?
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Exactly.
And you did it for your mom. I was really touched by that.
Thank you.
Really
2 balls,
touched.
2 strikes on Cano, and now a foul backing out of play. And Todd, you have a direct tie to both of these clubs, and we're in a World Series when these two met in 2000.
Yeah, and it's weird for me to watch a Mets game here, even though it's beautiful. I've been here now a number of times, but I still want to see Shea when and people that don't have ever had the chance to play here think, oh, Shea's a Pit, but to the guys that played here, it's kind of home. So
Shea's a Pit.
All right, there you go. Maybe, but it was home, right? So no, I'm getting used to it. It's all right. You can sit down. You got somebody come bring you a hot dog, and it's pretty good stuff.
Not bad.
Because when I think about the Mets, I think about Clendenin, Jones, Swoboda, Zeal.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Kuzman, Seaver.
That's coming. I thought that was coming.
It was Timo Perez in 2000.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yep. How many times do Met fans bring that up?
In New York, and nobody else on the rest of the planet knows it, but when I get to New York, Timo sucks. You should have run. We had that Game 1.
Wow.
I'm like, thank you. That's homage. That's
you
great.
hit 400 in that series, didn't you?
I did.
Wow.
I did indeed. It wasn't. I needed to hit 600 because Jeter hit 400 with some big bombs. So
wow, he was the MVP of that series. Here's a 2-out walk. You've packed a lot in the 46 years of life that you've been on the earth, as an actor, as a guy who's obviously made headlines, and I wonder now, as you look back, I mean, you were a kid when Platoon came out, when you popped up in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I was 19.
And now here you are doing a show on FX. Are we supposed to believe you that this is it for you after this show?
I'm gonna take a break. I got 5 kids, and I just can't get those calls anymore when I'm on the stage that you missed this first step. It's just that's my next job, is just to be a full-time dad.
1 on, 2 out here, yeah.
They're going to work him like crazy between now and then, though.
Yeah, exactly.
When this show gets picked up, there's 10 in the can. There's 90 more to come. So are going to keep Charlie pretty busy, aren't we?
Yeah. We're going to do 90 over just under 2 years. We're going to do 2 a week. Yeah. It's going to be pretty intense.
And FX has been great to.
Not as intense as this. I mean,
yeah, sure.
Here's what I'm most impressed by. I used this in the 3rd grade.
The multicolored.
It's unbelievable. Is this yours?
That's mine.
Is this your trademark?
That's my trademark.
I'm really impressed.
Yeah, well, strikeout to red.
I keep mine in my pocket.
I love it.
How's FX been for you?
They've been awesome. They've been awesome. I think we found the right home.
Okay.
Or they found us. Yeah,
okay.
they're terrific. Yeah.
We're not going to have any of the other stuff.
God,
if
no.
It falls
God,
apart.
no,
right.
not going to happen.
They're good guys at FX.
Yeah.
They're low key.
They won't have to fire me. I'll just leave.
You walk?
Yeah. No, of course not. But I don't call it being fired anymore. I call it being traded. I got traded for 2.5.
You got traded to our family.
Yeah, there you go.
And we're the ones that benefit.
Thank you. Right on.
It premieres Thursday at 9.
9 o'clock. Yes.
9
yeah, and there's going to be a 2.5 of my 2.5.
Say it. What's happening? Go.
Fly ball to center. This ball's caught. That'll end the inning.
Good. Keep going.
Don't know who caught it.
That's Neuenhuis in center. 1-0 Mets as we go to the bottom of the 4th.
Well done.
Good to see you.
Really a pleasure.
Right.
Thank you.
Charlie Sheen,
Thank
Todd
you.
Zeal. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tony.
Home of the Mets, Citi Field, and for the Mets it will be Hairston, Quintanilla, and Tolley. And that pitch misses down and away for ball 1. Hairston reached on an error his first time up on a ball that he hit to Jeter. Here's one now kicked by A-Rod to his left. So Hairston reached on an error by Jeter in the second, and now this will be an error on Rodriguez, his 4th of the year, and a ball hit 2 steps to his left.
Yeah, and a hop that he really should handle. I mean, A-Rod normally sucks that ball up. Looked like it hit him on the end of the webbing. Thought it hit him on the thumb. He tried to close the glove too quickly, and it's clearly an error on A-Rod.
And that brings in Quintanilla with a man on, nobody out. Omar, then Tolley, then Chris Young, who's pitching very well tonight for the Mets. Quintanilla struck out his first time after a long battle with Nova in an inning where the Mets left the bases loaded, did not score a run. 1 on, nobody out, and a pitch outside for a ball.
good time to hit and run right now. First base coach Tom Goodwin, a guy who could run when he played, talking to Scott Hairston. Hairston's still a very shrewd base runner, not as fast as he once was, but who is?
1 ball, no strikes, 1 on, nobody out. Nova now will do what he does. We talked about earlier, hold the ball, doesn't have a great move over to first, but try to vary his delivery to keep Hairston close, who's stolen 3, been caught 1 time. What did Terry Collins tell you before the game, Tim, about Quintanilla getting the start tonight at short?
Where were we?
1 ball, no strikes, and a foul back. Ken Rosenthal is with us. Ken
has it.
Yeah, Tim's going to phone a friend. Ken, what did he say about Quintanilla?
That Quintanilla deserves to play. That even though he's been the 3rd string guy and Ronnie Cedeno is back now, that Quintanilla has played so well that they can't simply forget him. Obviously, when Ruben Tejada comes back, it's another story.
Yeah, and then they've got Valdespin, who they like, Kenny, and has given them a jolt in their lineup when he's had a chance to play. So they're going to get into a numbers game here with the Mets in a short while, as that one misses up and away, 2 balls and a strike. Isn't it nice to have Ken Rosenthal around?
Oh, baby.
I mean, that's the ultimate safety net. Though.
Oh, yeah.
Safety net with a bow tie.
He remembers the things that some of us forget.
That's right. I'm sorry to do that to you. 2 balls and a strike. 1 on, nobody out.
Oh, man.
Runner is going, and a little flare down the left field line is going to get down for a base hit. Hairston goes to 3rd. Quintanilla will push it and get to 2nd. Good base running all around. An error, a double. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out here in the 4th.
One thing I do remember is that we talked about the hit and run earlier. It came a pitch later. Well done and well executed by the Mets. Quintanilla going to left field. And good base running by going to 2nd base. Okay, this is the type of baseball that the Mets have to play because of the team that they have, and they've been playing it for Terry Collins and themselves all year long.
The reaction from Ivan Nova, who has pitched around 1 error. It's going to be even tougher now with Tolley at the plate. Infield is back. Ball 1 down and in. And those fans that are packed in here to Citi Field rooting for the home team are starting to make noise as the Mets try and take the first 2 games of this 3-game set. Here's a 1-0. A ball and a strike on the Mets catcher, Josh Tolley. There's R.A. Dickey. We kind of teased it earlier, Tim, that he gets the ball tomorrow night against CC Sabathia, and that's about as good a pitching matchup as you're going to find anywhere in the game these days.
Super.
What R.A. Dickey has done,
unbelievable.
It really is. I mean, he's gone 42 2/3 innings without allowing an earned run. Reaching for it, Tolley gets the RBI as Teixeira makes the play to his right. 2-0 Mets as Quintanilla goes from 2nd to 3rd. 1 out. A run is produced, and we go to Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network for a game break.
Joe, the Will Middlebrooks era continues to establish itself in Boston. 2 RBIs today, 33 RBIs in his first 40 games. Hasn't been done by a Red Sox player in over 60 years. Interesting times in Boston. Red Sox lead the Braves 5-1. Back to Joe and Tim.
Infield is in now. Thanks, Matt. Chris Young is at the plate. He bounced one to Jeter his first time up. Runner at 3rd. And with everybody staring at Chris Young on the infield, all pulled in. Ball 1 misses down and away.
That was a good job by Tolley. Not only did he plate the run, but he moved the runner to 3rd. And if Terry Collins wants to do it, he can think about a squeeze on a 1-ball, no strike count.
We'll keep an eye out for it. Not happening here, and that pitch tails back for strike 1.
The deeper you go to a pitcher, a guy you know can hit real well, the more inclined a team will use the squeeze because there's little or no problem with the pitch out there.
Runner at 3rd, 1 out, 1-1 pitch. is on the outside corner, strike 2. So typically with 2 strikes, it limits the chances for a squeeze. Young is hitless on the season. He's only got 3 at bats. And he's now hitless on the season with 4 at bats, 2 out. Runner at third with Neuenhuis, who's homered, coming up. Tonight's game is sponsored by Michelin, a better way forward. And by Ted, from the creator of Family Guy, Mark Wahlberg, Mila Kunis, Seth MacFarlane. Ted in theaters Friday. Beautiful night in New York. Sun has just about set, and with Neuenhuis digging in, he homered his last time up. He's got a runner at third, 2 down. And Nova misses high, ball 1. Both these teams are keeping an eye on what's going on with the Orioles game. They're playing in Baltimore, and the Nationals lead 3-0 in the 4th inning there. You got the Yankees trying to hold off the Orioles in the AL East, and the Mets trying to catch the Nationals in the NL East. 2.5 out at the start of the day. Yankees with a 1.5 game lead in the East, having gone 20-7 since the 3rd week of May. Here's a 2-0. On the inside corner, 2-1. There's the AL East. It's still bunched up in the Red Sox. We heard from Kenny, and believe you me, Ken Rosenthal is working the internet, working the phones, trying to figure out where Kevin Youkilis is going, but that appears to be imminent. They're right in it, just 5.5 games out. That's fouled back, 2-2. There's the numbers for Youkilis, sitting 225. Just 22 games at a bad back, and the teams that are evidently closest to making a deal would be the Dodgers, the Indians, the Pirates, and the White Sox. Here comes a 2-2. A strikeout is number 4 on the night for Nova. And we go into the 5th. Mets having fun so far, up 2-0 on the Yankees. presented by Budweiser. On this night, we are in Queens, and it's the Yankees coming to bat in the 5th with a score of 2-0. The Mets on top. Strike one from Chris Young. You know, another kind of side note that Joe Girardi gave us, and we'll hear from Joe Girardi during this inning. When we were leaving his office, he said, Young is one of those guys, and Girardi played obviously for a long time, where you go up to the plate, you see pitches, they're tough to lay off, and you come back to the dugout shaking your head like, what just happened, and how can I not hit these pitches? Because he's not throwing hard, but he has tied this Yankee team in knots.
The Yankees have rat-a-tatted pitchers who threw 15 miles an hour harder than Chris Young is throwing, and hit balls forever against him, but not against Young.
This is the second time the Yankees have put their leadoff man on. They did it back in the first inning on a hit by Jeter, and now they get one from Swisher as they trail 2-0. Here's Ibanez, who has been struggling. Last 20 games hitting 164 coming into this one. With just 1 home run, 5 RBIs, and he struck out his first time up. He takes high for ball 1. That's in for a strike from Young. Let's go Yankees cheer tries to gain momentum.
This is the first time we've heard the crowd going at each other for a few years. The Mets haven't had a good ball club for the last 3-4 years. Boy, they're into it tonight.
There's a foul back, strike 2 on Ibanez.
Reminiscent of some of those games in 98, 99, 2000. Clemens knocking Piazza down. Then in the World Series throwing half a bat at him after the bat broke in 2.
Here's a 1-2. Right side, tough play for Murphy. They get the out at second and safe at first.
That's a dangerous throw by Daniel Murphy. He threw it so low that there was a chance of Swisher being hit. But Swisher, fortunately, didn't take one for the team. Fortunately for the Mets. I mean, if Swisher stands up, he takes one right in the back, and he'd go to second base. Now, that might have been a little high. Okay.
But they get the force at second. Ibanez is on, and the batter is Russell Martin, who started the night hitting 200. Dips under after flying out to right his first time. Takes a ball up and in.
It was an old Eddie Stanky play. If you're the runner on at first base and you see the shortstop who's covering the bag go to the outside part of the bag, you run toward the outside part of the bag. If he's inside the inside part of the bag, you run toward the inside part of the bag, but you never duck.
Here's a pop-up off the end of the bat. Long run for Dudek. Can he get there? Not an easy play, and he makes it for the out. A foul ball, 2 out. And a guy who is just really learning the outfield makes a nice play along that short wall down the right field line.
Trying to find the wall and the ball at the same time. And he found the ball.
Brings in Ivan Nova, who struck out his first time and is 1 for 10 in his career. He had a hit in his last interleague start. Takes a strike, and Chris Young is picking up where the rest of the group has left off. Dylan G coming off a very good start. Santana had a good start after 2 subpar outings following the no-hitter. Dickey has been unhittable, and Nice was the winner last night getting into the 7th.
And don't think they don't feed off each other competitively. Get a guy like Dickey going well after the Santana no-hitter, and then G and Nice, and now Young, all pitching very, very well.
Here's an 0-2. Nova gets a piece of it. But Young has him sized up for the end of this top of the fifth. One on, two out in the 0-2 pitch. Struck him out, strikeout number 3. It will be David Wright coming up in the bottom of this fifth. Mets trying to take the first 2 games of this interleague series. They lead tonight 2-0. Is sponsored by Chevrolet, proud to support youth baseball in cities and towns across the country. Gorgeous night, and for Joe Girardi, who we will hear from here after Valdespin does something to start the inning. His club put together that 10-game win streak. Now they're falling behind here tonight 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the fifth, trying to avoid their 4th straight loss, while the Mets are looking for their 5th straight win. It's been a series of sweeps for the Mets. Strike one. They were swept by the Yankees 2 weekends ago in the Bronx. They swept the Rays, swept by Cincinnati last weekend, and they're coming off a sweep of the Orioles, where their pitching gave up 3 runs the entire series. And it didn't happen until the end of the 3rd game. So good Terry Collins starting pitching has been. Here's an 0-1 to Valdespin. 1 ball, 1 strike.
When the Mets went to Tampa Bay, they scored 29 runs in 3 games. And that was when Tampa Bay and Joe Madden had the best pitching staff earned run average in baseball. So go figure.
Here's a 1-1. Strike 2. And a nice play by first base umpire Brian Runge. Nothing through the air.
Can't say that about Young.
No, that's how he cashes his check. The only one through the air that counted was the home run by Neuenhuis that he sent over the boards and left. But no outs recorded by Nova through the air, and Chris Young so far has allowed no runs on 2 hits, struck out 3, walked 1. Eight of the 15 outs picked up by Young are fly ball outs as the pitch is in the dirt 2-2. I misspoke last inning when I said only 4 strikeouts for Nova. He's got 5. And his defense let him down last inning. Pitched around an infield error back in the second. That is strike 3 called, and out number 1 is Valdespin, is strikeout victim number 6. And we talked to Joe Girardi first about the pitching of Ivan Nova.
He's been pretty good. When he's gotten in trouble, he's gotten behind in the count, and that's exactly what happened when he gave up the home run. It was a 3-1 fastball, and it didn't look like that bad of a pitch, but ended up being a home run.
And he's pitched inside a little bit to right-handed batters, right?
Yeah, it looked like he struck out David Wright on an inside fastball, and that's something that he's done more of this year.
Your scouting report on Chris Young was to have your hitters get the ball down.
Yeah.
How have you done so far with that?
Well, it's hard because it's so tempting, and when you look at his fastball, you think it's going to come down, but it just doesn't. And I think he has deception because of his height, and he uses it, and he's very smart with it.
Joe, thanks.
Thanks.
Joe Girardi watching Wright fly one into right center, and it slices to Swisher, 2 out. Girardi in his 5th season as manager of the Yankees. He's 47 years old. First year was 08, and his group won it all in 09.
You know, the Manager of the Year award started in 1983. I didn't know that until Wayne Fiddleman, who does our research, told me before the game. And coming into tonight's game in this weekend series, you can make a case that the 2 Managers of the Year are opposing one another tonight. Terry Collins with the Mets, Joe Girardi with the Yankees.
And with very different ball clubs.
Yeah.
And winning games in very different ways.
That's never happened, by the way, that American League, National League manager or Managers of the Year in the same city during the same year, or really even same area like Los Angeles for Anaheim and the Dodgers.
Counts 2-0 on Lucas Duda, who singled his last time up. That's Teixeira. Hasn't made an error all season long, and we go into the 6th inning. Well pitched game. Mets with the only runs. They've got 2 as we go to inning number 6. Budweiser is sponsored by Just for Men Mustache and Beard. Keep living the dream. Go to the 6th inning. Yankees coming to the plate, top of the order. There's Denise Richards. And Mike Green, who does such a great job calling the NBA.
Great job, great guy.
Here's Jeter, strike 1. Denise Richards was married to the guy who stopped by in the booth moments ago, Charlie Sheen, and
I guess that's right.
We didn't get a chance to talk much about baseball. That's just the way in-game interviews go. But I can tell you, after having interviewed him on the radio, there are sports fans, baseball fans, and then there's that guy. He's legit. It's not like
knows the game. Huh?
Yeah, it's something that would seem cool to talk about. He watches it, dissects it, second guesses you, second guesses me. As the count goes to 0-2 on Jeter, who's 1 for 2 on the night.
Getting right.
Yeah, right. Jeter singled his first time, grounded out to third in the third. Yeah, well, only one of the two is going to the Hall of Fame this July. That's high for ball 1, 1-2. Yankees have yet to figure out what Chris Young is doing to their bats. And he gets a strikeout to start the inning. Strikeout number 4 on the night. And our in-game box score presented by Lexus for the Yankees. A lot of offers, just a couple of hits, a single by Jeter and a single leading off by Swisher. That is all. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. And Chris Young couldn't be pitching any better than he is here tonight.
Oh, I mean, just superb. And I thought Joe Girardi explained it very well, saying that Chris is very smart, which he is, but knowing that that these guys, you know, a pitcher can tell from a lineup what's happening, whether they're getting around on the fastball or taking it like there.
It's 85.
Yeah. Doesn't look like that to a hitter, however. A good hitter like the Yankees hitters are.
Chris Young is 33 years old. He's from Texas, as we've mentioned, and is always mentioned by announcers. He went to Princeton. There's his line on the night, only 78 pitches, and he's part of a Mets starting rotation that has a group ERA in the month of June coming into tonight at 2.30. That's the best in the game. The number 2 team right behind the Mets, the Yankees, at 2.73. Here is a 3-1 pitch. It's a strike, a full count.
Yankees can be dormant and then explode at any moment with their power, and they're the other 4.
Remember, this is all with Mike Pelfrey out. A 1-out walk, and that's just the second walk issued by Young tonight. 1 on, 1 out with Rodriguez coming up. He's grounded out and fouled out. And the man digs in with 641 career home runs, 5th all time. 296 of those home runs have come in a Yankee uniform. Tying run at the plate, 1 out here in the 6th. Fastball misses, ball 1.
A-Rod, a home run last night to center field. That remains his power. Center and right center. It's been his power since he was a 19-year-old breaking in with Seattle in 1994.
He gets under this one and skies it into shallow left center. 2 players come together, and the catch is made by Quintanilla, the shortstop, with Valdespin right behind him. 2 out.
I know everybody, when a pop-up goes up like that and there's miscommunication, you think of Luis Castillo, however unfairly, when he dropped the pop fly 3 years ago. Of course, there was nobody around when Luis did it. And we did a game after that, Joe, and a guy who stood there and answered all of the toughest questions that a guy could get after a matchup like these 2 teams.
Yeah, and an embarrassing moment on a pop-up that was hit by that same guy, Alex Rodriguez,
yeah,
that fell. Right. And the Yankees won that game. Then we did the game the next day. Meanwhile, that same situation came up last night on the final out, and it was Valdespin who made the catch. Of course, the comparisons followed in today's paper.
Sure.
Saw it in the Post as that one misses outside to Cano with 1 on, 2 out. for as good as the Mets starting pitching has been, and it's been outstanding in June, the Mets still have the worst bullpen ERA in the major leagues. They've got a couple of guys. Here is Granderson, who started down to second, stopped. Young still delivered the pitch, and Granderson kept going for his 4th steal of the year, and now he's fighting back a smile.
All Chris has to do is step off, throw to second, and they would have Granderson in a pickle. But the throw by Tolle way late. Josh couldn't do anything about it.
Now base hit could cut the lead in half. Cano, who's hit 12 home runs over his last 31 games, is probably thinking more in that category. Trying to do something about that low average, 145 with runners in scoring position. 2 out in the inning. And a pop-up should end the inning. The Yankees still cannot get that hit with a runner or runners in scoring position. Chris Young, outstanding. 2-0 Mets after 5.5.
Baseball night in America, Beltway battle in Baltimore. The Orioles have beaten the Nats in 10 of their last 13 at home. Enough of that, says Adam LaRoche, whose 13th of the year makes it 3-0 Washington. Braves and Red Sox. Boston up 5-1, but Michael Bourne just a .233 hitter against lefties this year. Singles against southpaw Franklin Morales. Still early, Red Sox on top by 3. Back to Joe and Tim in Flushing.
Matt, thank you. And you see that highlight package with that game going on in Boston. As we mentioned, the Red Sox 5.5 out at the start of the day behind the Yankees, who trailed 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Leading it off is Daniel Murphy with Hairston and Quintanilla to follow. Here's a 1-0. Nova's pitched well. Chris Young has pitched better. Here is a 1-1 from Nova. Line drive into the gap in left center field, and that's going to get down. Cut off by Granderson, and we'll have a play at second. Good throw, but not in time, and a double for Daniel Murphy to start the 6th inning for the Mets.
We saw Murphy's good base running earlier, and we see it again. Good throw by Granderson. Murphy just ahead of the slide, or the tag. Good base running by Daniel Murphy, running hard out of the box.
Third extra base hit of the night for the Mets. They have a man at second, nobody out, with Hairston coming up.
You know, another odd statistic with this Yankee team. I mean, Ivan Nova 9-2 coming in. and yet he leads the major leagues in extra base hits allowed. He's given up 3 tonight to give him 49 on the year.
The runner at second, nobody out. Hairston tries to hold up. He didn't. Strike one. Well, statistics can be deceiving. And we're
so
seeing
quirky
examples of that. And so many scouting departments go into such statistical analysis of players in the game, both young and old. But sometimes in the case of a guy like Nova, 9-2 is 9-2, whether he's given up extra base hits or not.
That's right.
That breaking ball's in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. 26-8. The major league record, career record for Ivan Nova. The guy who won 16 games as a rookie last season. Got a win in the postseason, the division series in relief, and then was the loser, was injured in game 5. That's foul. And past Tim Tuffle. 1-2.
Talking about throwing away those statistics, that's what Terry Collins was saying before the game about Ike Davis. That sure, he's hitting, $190, but the players on the team want him to succeed so much that from a team standpoint, it was better not to send him down. And over the last 10 days, he's responded very, very well.
Here's a 1-2. Fouled back. Ken Rosenthal is with us, and there's more on Ike Davis, and I think you have to admire the way Terry Collins massaged that situation, read his dugout in his clubhouse with regard to Davis.
Absolutely, Joe. And Terry Collins told us that earlier in his managerial career, that is not something he would have done. He would have been reactionary. He would have had Ike Davis sent to the minor leagues. But there was a meeting that he had with Davis where there were several Mets teammates waiting outside for Davis, seeing how he was doing. And he saw also the players cheering Davis on in a very sincere way from the dugout. He thought it was just best to keep Davis in the major leagues, in part because that's what the players wanted.
And Ike Davis, who grew up around the game, his dad, Ron Davis, pitched in an 11-year career with the Yankees, the Twins, the Cubs, Dodgers, Giants. It's been a struggle since that severe sprain of his ankle last year cost him the bulk of the season. But he looks like he's starting to come around.
Big home run last night in the first inning off Andy Pettitte.
There's a foul backing out of play. Still 2-2 on Hairston, who spoiled that pitch. And then, as we said, the grand slam on Monday as part of the sweep of the Orioles. Here's last night. Got under it and rode it into right. Swisher got up and just couldn't get enough of it. 5-run first and a 6-4 win behind John Neese. Here's a 2-2. Breaking ball misses, a full count.
David Sancherico of the New York Daily News had a great line about this week. And Ike Davis, he said he's gone from curtains to curtain calls.
That got my attention too. It's a good line. His first one.
Yeah, that's right. Curtains to curtain calls.
And now with a full count, Murphy at second, nobody out. Hairston waits. Nova got him with a good fastball. Strikeout number 7. Oh, 3-2 pitch. Here's a fastball. Hit it if you can. It's just after the top of the hour, and we give you the game summary with the Mets leading 2-0. Neuenhuis with a home run in the third. Tolley with an RBI groundout after an error. The heart of the order against Chris Young, hitless, 0 for 7. There's Quintanilla, runner at second, 1 out, as Hairston did not advance Murphy. Nothing's been easy tonight for Nova. First inning was easy, got around an error and 2 walks in the second. Gave up a home run in the third. Had a long fourth inning that was started by an error. Leadoff double here in the sixth. Trying to get around it. Ball one. Up to 92 pitches on the night. Only one earned run, but two total. The 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Started to go into what the Mets and will involve, I'm sure, Ken Rosenthal in this discussion, but the Mets, who seem to need help in their bullpen, they do have Beato coming back at some point. They hope Henry Mejia, a young right-hander, can work his way back, and he's pitching out of the bullpen on a rehab assignment. Here's a slow roller to short. Tough play, good play, Jeter, 2 out. But Ken, I'll ask you, payroll-wise, what are your feelings with regard to the Mets? If they're going to hang around toward the top of the division, you'd have to think that they're going to end up adding something before the trading deadline.
Joe, they say they can be flexible, but the bigger question is, with so many buyers, what will be out there? Their biggest need, frankly, is Jason Bay. And obviously he is in an uncertain position right now with that concussion. But they need a right-handed power bat to balance their predominantly left-handed lineup. A couple of weeks ago, scouts thought Scott Hairston was going to be traded for a reliever simply because if Bay was coming back, he would be excess. But now they need Hairston and another one like him.
They're going to intentionally walk Tolle here and work to Chris Young, who's 0 for 2 on the night. As Nova is trying to get around that leadoff double, and he's doing a good job of it so far.
I think Terry Collins and Dan Warthen looking for one more inning out of Chris Young. They got 7 from him last Sunday in a loss to the Reds. He has 86 pitches through 6.
That'll put runners at the corners for Chris Young.
And plus, your comment about the bullpen, too. I mean, when your bullpen has an earned run average over 5, you're going to try to stay with your starter as long as you can.
Especially one that's pitching as well as this guy tonight. Shoulder surgery, 13 months away from a major league mound. Making his 4th start. No decision, a win, a loss, and now good work tonight against the Yankees, and a base hit into right field, and it's 3-0 Mets here in the 6th. And Chris Young is doing all he can to help win the 2nd game of this series against the Yankees tonight.
If there were any drowsy eyes in this stadium, that was an eye-opener right there. First pitch, line drive, right field to score the 3rd Met run of the night.
Reaction by Ivan Nova, and obviously Young was looking for a fastball on that first pitch, got it, and flipped it into right.
Yeah, but you can't second-guess yourself on something like that. I mean, you've got a pitcher doesn't have a hit this year, hadn't been to the plate but a few times in 13 and a half months, and you throw him a fastball and he hits it the other way. That's the way it goes.
Clay Rapata, the left-hander, is getting loose for the Yankees in the bullpen. Neuenhuis is coming up. He's homered tonight, struck out his last time up, and we'll see if Nova will stay in for one more batter. He won't. They were stalling to get Rapata, who has been red hot, out of the Yankees bullpen ready. He's coming in, and Nova is knocked out on a hit by Chris Young.
Red hot, the appropriate term for Ivan Nova right now.
He is hot. Couldn't get around an error in the 4th inning. Did get around an error in the 2nd. Gives up a hit to Chris Young. 3-0 Mets. Pitching change in the 6th. Good numbers for Rapata, and especially against left-handers. He's held them to a 137 average as he slings it outside ball one to Nieuwenhuis, who's homered tonight. His 7th of the season. Trying to add to what is a 3-0 Mets lead. 2-out RBI by Chris Young, adding the latest run. That drops in for a strike on a sweeping breaking ball. 1-1. Ivan Nova, if he gets a decision, it will be a loss. Right-hander goes 5 2/3. 3 runs, 2 earned, 5 hits. He's responsible for the 2 guys on. He walked 3, one of them intentionally, and struck out 7. Left-handed hitting, Jordani Valdespin on deck. Here's a 2-1. Throw down, and Tolley was almost wandering too far as the count goes to 2-2 at the plate. The career numbers for Rapata, with lefties hitting 148. And it'll dip just a little bit more as Nieuwenhuis strikes out to end the threat, and it's 3-0 Mets as we go to the 7th here at Citi Field. Back after this from your local Fox station. All Night in America is presented by Budweiser. As we go to the 7th inning, final third of this game, and Chris Young is back out there for more. Approaching 90 pitches on the night. He will deal with Teixeira, Swisher, and Ibanez in a 3-0 game. Mets on top. Still stretching out that shoulder. Had a torn anterior capsule in that shoulder. Right over the top. He fires strike 1 to Teixeira at 83 miles per hour. Mark's 0 for 2. Tim Burdack, the left-hander, getting loose. Young brings home ball 1.
You have 2 switch hitters for the Yankees in spots 1 and 2, and then you have Raul Ibanez. Perhaps Burdack's getting ready for Ibanez.
2-1. Yankees have Andrew Jones on their bench. If that move is made, Jones went deep last night. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Teixeira. 2-2.
What all managers try to do when they're making a move in the late innings with the pitcher, they try to get the other manager to waste a hitter.
Up and away, full count.
That's something Clay Rapata didn't have because he faced the left-handed hitting Neuenweiss. But if the left-handed Burdick comes in the game, Girardi will make a move.
Foul tip, and Tolley can't hang on to it. That caught him on the inside of the right leg. So they'll take a moment. Time for the Just for Men auto stop foolproof stat. And it's the pitching line of Chris Young. 6+ now, 2 hits. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, and has an RBI single for good measure. That was his first hit of the season. Just as the Mets can count on Chris Young, you can count on Just for Men auto stop for foolproof results. Boone Logan, the left-hander, getting loose for the Yankees. But right now it's Young and Teixeira, and ball 4. That's the 3rd walk of the night handed out by Chris Young. And how much longer will the Mets and Terry Collins go with Young?
I think one more hitter. Pitch count's over 90. Burdick doesn't take long to warm up. 93 pitches for Chris. I think he's right there.
Swisher has a hit, one of just 2 on the night for the Yankees. Jeter the other that came leading off. In the air to right. Duda breaks in late and can't get there. It gets behind him. Teixeira will go to third base, and digging in for second is Swisher on a ball that was mishandled in right. Second and third, nobody out.
A bad break by Duda. He broke back initially. Now the ball short hops by him. Alertly, Neuenhaus makes a play behind him. That's a great play by Neuenhaus going toward the play in right field. And it was he that came up with the ball and kept Swisher from getting a triple. But running like that, he's not going to get anything. Lucky to get a double.
Still waiting on how they rule it. Neuenhaus came over to make the play.
Got to be a double, doesn't it?
No move to the bullpen as Ibanez shoots it into the corner. This ball is gone. And this game is tied 3-3 on a shot by Raul Ibanez. Just his second home run over his last 21 games. But why no move to Burdick, the left-hander, and Terry Collins will come get the baseball now, and all that good work by Chris Young, he will leave in a tie game.
I'll tell you, the one thing that New York fans have noticed about Terry Collins is he's about the most self-effacing manager. Will tell the truth, will tell when he made a mistake, and I'll guarantee you, I think Collins will say he made a mistake not bringing in Tim Burdick.
Now it's John Roush, the big right-hander. A 6'10 guy will give way to a 6'11 guy after this. A line drive, 3-run shot by Raul Ibanez. And it's 3-3 here in the 7th in Queens. Young goes up in smoke with one swing by Raul Ibanez.
We talked to, remember Joe Girardi saying, trying to get the hitters to get the ball below the waist. He did and got it above the fence.
They originally ruled, by the way, that ball hit by Swisher as a single, E9. It's now changed to a double. Swisher's 1,000th career hit. And it helped set up Ibanez for the game-tying shot. Now John Roush brings a 92-mile-per-hour fastball high and tight to Russell Martin. Nobody on or out, 3 runs home on a walk, a double, and a home run. That's a strike. It's a ball and a strike. Again, Boone Logan is getting loose for the Yankees after Rapata did his job and got out of the bottom of the 6th by getting Neuenhuis on a strikeout. Strike 2.
Tell you, after that home run, you found out the majority of this crowd are Yankee fans. I mean, this place is just like Yankee Stadium after a home run.
That's unofficial.
No, it's unofficial, right? Mother-in-law survey, we call it.
Here's a 1-2. That foul tip catches the mask of Tim McClellan, the home plate umpire. After it tipped off the bat, got them both.
Gosh, I missed that.
I bet. So in a blink, this game is tied 3-3. Top of the 7th. Here's a 1-2. Got him on the outside corner, 1 away. So Roush comes in. They shut him down for a few games, let his arm rest, and he drills the outside corner on Russell Martin for out number 1 here in the 7th. We'll get a pinch hitter now as Chavez will come off the bench and bat for Rapata. Rapata went 1/3 of an inning, got a strikeout. It looks like Boone Logan will be next with Valdespin, Wright, and Duda. 2 of the 3 batters lefties in the bottom of this inning. There's a strike to Chavez. Oh, 2. Down the left field line, into that corner, well hit, and gone for a home run to make it 4-3 Yankees in the 7th. Not too far from the spot Neuenhuis hit earlier in the game in the 3rd, and this one fought off and hit out the opposite way off the bat of Eric Chavez.
I think it's interesting to note that both of those balls in the old ballpark, or with the old dimensions, probably would have been foul because the line was about 10 feet farther. John Roush can't believe it. That pitch was up around the neck. And Chavez just tomahawked that ball out of the ballpark to give the Yankees the first lead of the night.
And there they are doing it with a home run ball again.
Yep.
Obviously all of their runs tonight, and over 52% of their runs for the season scoring on home run shots. That's their 110th off the bat of Chavez, his 5th. A valuable piece of their bench, and now the mood shifts dramatically down in that Yankee dugout as they have an advantage in their bullpen. They've had great work out there even since Rivera went down as Jeter takes low. 2-1.
Chavez' second year in a Yankee uniform, and I think New York Yankee fans are finding out just how professional that guy is.
And really just a bad back slowed down his career.
That's right.
Really derailed it from a good run and the good career he was putting together out in Oakland. That is strike 2. 2-2. Ken Rosenthal, those are two big pieces added to this Yankee roster, both going deep, Ibanez and Chavez here in the 7th.
And both guys were signed, Joe, after the Yankees traded A.J. Burnett, who, by the way, is on a remarkable roll right now with Pittsburgh. But the Yankees wanted to clear Burnett's money to get those 2 deals done. They both came cheaply. They've both been very productive.
Ibanez now with 11 home runs, 35 RBIs. More RBIs than Rodriguez. And one fewer home run than Teixeira and Rodriguez. And they are all lit up down in that dugout now for the Yankees. Here comes a 2-2. Over but low, full count.
A.J. Burnett has won 7 in a row for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's the most starters won for the Pirates since 1974 when Doc Ellis won 7 in a row. Andrew McCutchen, they won again this afternoon 4-1 to remain a game behind Cincinnati.
Here is a 3-2 into right field, and Duda's there for this one. 2 out. By the way, that was the first ever pinch hit home run for Eric Chavez. Regular season, postseason. Obviously a longtime starter with the A's, and coming off the bench, he's been a valuable piece for Joe Girardi. It's been a 4-run 7th on the strength of 2 home runs. Now Granderson, who leads this team and is 4th in the AL with 21 home runs with 2 out, nobody on.
Steve Donahue will come out. Curtis Granderson may have a contact problem. Something in his eye. There's Steve.
We want to tell you about something that was initiated in 2009 by the Yankees. They call it Hope Week. It's now in its 4th year. Hope Week is rooted in the fundamental belief that acts of goodwill provide hope and encouragement to more than just the recipient of the gesture. Each day during Hope Week, from Monday, June 25th, it's coming up Monday, through Friday, June 29th, the Yankees will reach out to an individual, family, or organization worthy of recognition and support by involving every Yankee player and coach, along with Joe Girardi, general manager Brian Cashman, minor league affiliates, and front office staff. The Yankees send the message that everyone can give of themselves to make their community a better place. If you want to know more, please visit the official website, hopeweek.com, or their Facebook page, New York Yankees Hope Week. And it's something that Jason Zillow, who is their public relations director, is a guy who really works hard to help pull that off, along with others in the Yankees front office. And it is a special week every year now, and its 4th year for this great organization. With 2 out, a strike on a fastball from Rausch to Curtis Granderson as Cody Epley, a right-hander, gets up. Logan is to his side, so both are getting ready. As Granderson rolls one foul right side, strike 2.
The Yankees lost last night, scoring 4 runs. They're ahead tonight, scoring 4 runs. All of the runs scored have come via the home run route.
Last night and tonight.
All or nothing at all for the Yankees.
That's down and in, ball 1. Washington leads at Baltimore 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Mets are chasing the Nationals. The Yankees are trying to hold off the Orioles, and that's a pitch down and away, 2-2. So I'm sure a few eyeballs have glanced up at the out-of-town scoreboard for that. You see Boston's 6-3 lead in the 6th at Fenway over Atlanta. Off the end of the bat into right center, and going to get it is Duda to end the inning. 2 home runs hit by the Yankees in the 7th. Ibanez tied it. Chavez put the Yankees on top. Time to stretch in Queens. He's working together for 17 years. Had a chance to visit the fan cave yesterday in Greenwich Village here in New York.
That jukebox, I'm telling you, had some of those old songs on.
It took you back, didn't it?
Oh, it did. Rockin' Robin, are you kidding me?
It was fun to get in there and meet the guys and gals who have been in there since the beginning of the season. It's their duty in life, at least for this summer and into the autumn, to watch every MLB game, including the postseason. They have elimination time.
That game too, right?
They're going to go there. They have one more elimination, I was told by my new friends there. And then they will be there. I think 6 of them.
Yeah.
Will be making the trip to Kansas City to be at the All-Star game on July 10th. We'll be there. Kenny Rosenthal will be there. And we can't wait.
Kansas City, here we come.
And how about R.A. Dickey? What do you think? A knuckleballer starting the All-Star game for the National League?
I think so.
He gets the ball tomorrow night for the Mets against the Yankees, and he's been untouchable. Here are the possible starters. Don't forget Strasburg, who's been lights out. But Dickey is throwing a unique, hard knuckleball that nobody can figure out right now.
And only 1 or 2 guys can catch it. That's Josh Tolley and Mike Nickias. So who's going to catch? That's going to be a very, very important position. Yadier Molina, in all probability, of the Cardinals, will be the starting catcher.
Cody Epley is on the mound. At the plate is Valdespin. The 1-1 pitch is down for ball 2. Epley, third pitcher of the night. Nice pickup before the season started from the Rangers. Part of a good bullpen for Joe Girardi. Rapata did his job. Now Epley pitching with the lead, and the bottom drops out of that pitch. 2-2.
We've talked about the strengths of these managers, both Terry Collins and Joe Girardi. I don't think anybody uses a bullpen any better than Joe Girardi.
Well, he lost the game's best closer in Mariano Rivera, and the Yankees haven't missed a beat. Here's a little floater into left center field, and that is going to be down as a sliding try by Ibanez, not good enough. And the leadoff man, Valdespin, is at second with nobody out to start the 7th with a double.
70% of the major league guys who hit a ball like this would be at first base. Valdespin's at second base. And that is a real credit to Jordani Valdespin to be on second base representing the tying run.
He's there with nobody out, and the batter is David Wright. And this is the guy the Mets want at the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He's hitting .356 with 40 RBIs. Banya's got there and then missed it. Good sliding effort. The guy who hit the 3-run home run couldn't make a sliding catch. A strike hits the outside corner to right. Mets are 1 for 9 tonight with runners in scoring position. So they've had opportunities. They've stranded 7. Tying run at second with nobody out. The 0-1. Ground ball to the second baseman. Cano gets the out. Over to third as Valdespin one away.
It's pretty clear right now. Here comes Joe Girardi, and the left-hander Boone Logan will be in the game to pitch to Duda.
So Wright advances the runner, and we'll go to Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network for a game break.
Joe, Nationals and Orioles. Baltimore's RBI leader Adam Jones was in the midst of a 9-game RBI drought, his longest of the season, until his 19th home run tonight. Birds still trail the Nats by 2 in the 7th. Back to Joe and Tim in Flushing.
And we'll just take it for a moment and take a break. Boone Logan coming in, tying run at third, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th. Mets down by a run. Call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Buy the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway MPG. Great shot of the moon. American flag in the foreground, and now Boone Logan, the hard-throwing left-hander, to deal with Lucas Duda. The infield will creep in. Tying run at third, 1 out here in the 7th inning of a good game between the Yankees and Mets.
Duda, good hitter against left-handers this year, batting .260 on the year. He's their guy. Terry Collins thinks he will be a very, very good all-around hitter, not just a power guy, but a guy who can handle left-handers also. We'll see.
Even though it didn't go down as an error, the ball hit by Swisher, which preceded the 3-run shot in the top of this 7th inning, was misplayed on a bad break by Duda and Wright. And here he is with a tying run at third, 1 out. Standing in with 11 home runs on the season. Infield in. Good pitch by Logan, strike 1. Now David Robertson, the right-hander, gets loose. Activated 2 Thursdays ago, missed a month with a strained oblique. Valdespin led off with a double at third, 1 out. That's strike 2.
Boy, just two wicked breaking balls to Duda. Almost out of the same kennel, both pitches. Nasty.
Logan looking for the strikeout. Duda trying to produce his 43rd RBI. A strikeout for Logan as he gets Duda 2 gone.
Boy, that is a masterly job by Boone Logan. 3 really unhittable pitches.
And what's been a strength as you watch Cody Epley, who threw a third of an inning, allowed a hit and got a ground out. A strength for the Yankees, their bullpen, with 2 other guys waiting in the far off wings who could help before the end of the season, and Jabba Chamberlain and David Ardsma. Ardsma, the former closer with the Mariners.
I'm looking breaking ball right here. Got a fastball.
Murphy at the plate. He has walked. He has doubled. He scored a run. And he has gone long time since his last long ball.
The one thing, he threw 3 straight breaking balls to Duda. Fastball to Murphy. By looking breaking ball, you can hit the ball to left field solidly, because you keep your front shoulder in. If you don't do that, you're going to be pulling off the ball and you're going to go the same route as Duda.
Nice block there by Russell Martin, who is a very underrated defensive catcher. Tying run at third, 2 out, and a 1-1 count on Daniel Murphy. Strike 2. High heat 94 from Murphy, and Logan is one good pitch away from getting out of this 7th inning jam. The 1-2. Got him on a weak swing and miss on a breaking ball down and away. And what a job by Boone Logan. Tying run at third gets Duda and Murphy. A few miscues tonight by the Yankees. One of them cost them. 2 have not. 4-3 Yankees after 7. John Roush gave up the go-ahead home run to Eric Chavez last inning. Now he starts the 8th, and he rides Rodriguez off the plate. Ball 1 up and in. Rodriguez, Cano, Teixeira for the Yankees, who lead by 1 thanks to a 4-run 7th and 2 home runs. One by Ibanez, a 3-run shot, and then Chavez off the bench. 1-1 the count. These big swingers for the Yankees are happy Chris Young's out of the game. The heart of this lineup when hitless against him. And that thing bounces in there, ball 2. .92-mile-an-hour fastball, 2-2 as it gets it by the bat of Rodriguez, who is 0 for 3 tonight. And now the 2-2. Flied in the air to center. Back is Neuenhuis, and just in front of the track. Hauls in out number 1. This July, we can't wait. Hopefully you can't as well. The biggest event of the summer, baseball's greatest stars battle for home field advantage in the World Series. July 10th, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, here on Fox. The MLB All-Star Game. The best of the AL against the best of the NL. And with Roush getting the lead man and the left-handed batter, Cano, coming up. Pitching change here in the 8th. Burdack coming in, Cano coming up. Ballpark. They're packed in here tonight for the Yankees and the Mets as this game is in the 8th. Tim Burdack comes out of the bullpen. He's been busy. 38th game already for Burdack. The lone lefty out there for the Mets, and with Cano coming up, 1 out, nobody on. Robinson gets a chance to face a southpaw with Teixeira on deck. Cano takes a strike. Robinson 0 for 2 with a walk. The Mets in the bottom of this 8th inning will have Hairston, Quintanilla, and Tolley, with David Robertson, who is the setup man now for Rafael Soriano, getting loose for the Yankees in their bullpen. 1-1. There's Robertson. Mike Harkey in the background, who's the bullpen coach for Joe Girardi. He caught him with the Cubs. And then Rafael Soriano, who's 13 of 14 in save chances since taking over for Robertson, who was there for a brief moment, who took over for Rivera, who went down in early May in Kansas City. Soriano, who had 45 saves a couple of seasons ago for Tampa Bay, has been exactly what the Yankees have needed. 2-2 on Cano.
I don't know what it really says. Is fate struck the Yankees when Mariano Rivera went down in the city in which the All-Star game is going to be played this year, Kansas City.
And he did it doing what he did every night.
Forever.
Shagging fly balls in the outfield during batting practice, a way that he liked to get into the game and warm up and get his legs moving.
Yeah.
It's hurt on May the 3rd. He had to get a blood clot out of that calf before he could have surgery. He had surgery, and it evidently went very well. Here's one into left off the bat of Cano, 2 out. Well, Raul Ibanez and Eric Chavez were the stronger ones tonight so far, with a 3-run shot to tie it by Ibanez. And again, it's just stunning to look at where that pitch was delivered, and Chavez getting it out to give the Yankees the lead. Brought to you by Mazda. Better, stronger, smarter.
Eric, when he rounded the bags, that go-ahead home run, he was kidding in the dugout, talking about that chop down swing. And that's what he needed to hit that ball out and left.
Teixeira now. He's hitless tonight. Did walk and score. Good velocity from Burdack. A ball and a strike. With 2 out, nobody on. That's low. Yankees can't wait to get Brett Gardner back, who is a big piece of this Yankee puzzle. He played only 9 games. He's been out since mid-April with a strained right elbow. It's been diagnosed as a bone bruise, no ligament tear. He thinks he'll be back around the All-Star break. And he gives the Yankees an element that they don't have, especially out in left, with a guy that can get on base, use his legs, make things happen, and then push Ibanez back to more of the DH role that he was signed to the Yankees to do.
Yeah, you know the Yankees are good enough to reach the postseason right now, but they've got a lot of cards left to deal that could make them even tougher going into September in the postseason.
Well, Gardner's one of them. Right. Chamberlain, Jabba Chamberlain, if he comes back and gives them anything, and they are.
Aardsma, you talked about.
David Aardsma, they're very optimistic that both will be back before the end of the year and help them down the stretch. Here's a 3-2. Squirter off the end of the bat. Valdespin to his left. Makes the play, and that sends us into the bottom of the 8th inning. Robertson will be pitching. Hairston, Quintanilla, Tolley batting for the Mets, who trail by 1. Baseball night in America, brought to you by Budweiser tonight as we continue from New York. Mets and Yankees, second round of interleague play between these two. Yankees swept the series in the Bronx 2 weekends ago. The Mets won last night. Here's our game summary with the Yankees up 1. Banya's tied it. Chavez put the Yankees out in front. And in 5 games, the Yankees have hit 13 home runs against the Mets this season.
You could go right on down the major league teams the Yankees have faced this year and say the same thing.
Here's Robertson. Yankees missed him when he was out for a month with a strained left oblique. One of the game's better setup relievers, and for a while it looked like it would be his job closing in place of Rivera. Rafael Soriano's been so good. They kept Soriano at the back end, and Robertson goes back to his usual role.
Yeah, it's the right move, too, because David being out for that long a period, about a month, gave Soriano a chance to show that he had regained his form that he had with Tampa Bay a couple of years ago when he saved 45.
A good velocity and a strike to Scott Hairston. Hairston's hit 9 home runs. Been on base twice tonight, but doesn't have a hit. Reached on an error by Jeter, then an error by Rodriguez. He has scored a run. Off the end of the bat, strike 2. Talk about home runs for the Yankees against the Mets. A home run tonight for the Mets against the Yankees, the first run of the night by Neuenhuis. Fooled on the pitch was Hairston, and he is officially now out number 1.
Fastball, 2 curveballs to get Hairston. Just overpowering stuff. Watch this pitch. Tightly wrapped out of a strike zone where an 0-2 pitch should be. Martin, a good play to block it. That's an unusual breaking ball that Robertson has. He puts one finger on top of the ball, uses the seam for the leverage, and really cuts down on the breaking ball.
Quintanilla now.
Perfect pitch.
Omar tonight has a double, 1 for 3. Strike 1. Right-hander Jeremy Hefner is getting loose for the Mets in their pen. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2 on Quintanilla. Nothing but strikes from Robertson so far with Tolley on deck. Now the 0-2 from Robertson. Straightens him up, ball 1 up and in. Was walking the New York streets today.
Here is what we were talking about with David Robertson. A tightly wrapped breaking ball. He's got so many ways to get you out. High, hard one, breaking ball.
There's a breaking ball in the dirt. You count 2-2. I just started to say that ran into a group from the New York Fire Department tactical training staff, and one of the guys was talking to me about this game tonight. Grew up a big Mets fan, and he's watching his whole group. They're about split 50-50 Yankees Mets. The guy I was talking to is a big McCarver fan because he grew up watching you on Mets telecast for all those years. Here's a 2-2.
16 years at Shea. Broadcaster for the Mets with the great Ralph Kiner, Steve Zabriskie, Gary Thorne later. Now Gary Cohen and Keith Hernandez and Ron Darling man the Mets telecast.
And they're fun to watch.
They sure are.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Quintanilla with 1 out, nobody on. Draws a walk. Tying run is on here in the 8th inning. Tonight's game is sponsored by the 2012 Ford F-150, built Ford tough. And by the makers of One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of MLB. Here's Tolley. Josh has hit just one home run this season as an RBI tonight. Big hole on the right side of the infield. Quintanilla draws a throw. I was thinking about those years that you were in the booth with the Mets in that 1985 season for Doc Gooden.
Oh my gosh, 24-4, 1.65 earned run average. Not bad.
With one out, Tolley fouls it back. Mike Vaccaro of the New York Post wrote about the stretch Doc had at the end of that season when he went 18-1 with an 18-1 with an ERA of 1.39.
Just ridiculous.
Turner on deck. Justin just activated off the disabled list recently. Here comes an 0-1. Ball one.
We talked about it before, Joe. In those days, from '84 through the early '90s, like 1992, the Mets owned this town. They owned New York. Now, that is not so. It's not even close. The Yankees overwhelmingly own New York.
5 rings for that core group. Last one coming in 2009. Girardi, their manager, winning 3 as a player. Tolley fouls it out of play left side. And that'll be strike 2 on the Mets catcher. The point of the article was about great streaks that pitchers have gone on. And obviously the other one that comes to mind is Orel Hershiser in '88. Not just what he did in the regular season. 59 consecutive scoreless innings.
Right.
But then the postseason was just, he was untouchable.
MVP in the NLCS with a save. And MVP of the World Series.
That's out of play left side. 2-0 in the World Series against the heavily favored Oakland A's. But that season for the Dodgers is known for the right arm of Orel Hershiser and the limp of Kirk Gibson around the bases after a Game 1 home run off Dennis Eckersley. But all that conversation brings you to R.A. Dickey, becoming the first pitcher to throw back-to-back complete Game 1 hitters in the National League since 1944, and doing it with a knuckleball. Last guy to do it was Jim Tobin of the Braves, throwing a knuckleball. Here's a foul back and out of play.
That was a Boston Braves in those days.
There he is, 42 2/3 consecutive innings without allowing an earned run. Second longest in Mets history to Doc Gooden back in that '85 season when he went 49. And that's what he's done over his last 6 games, 6-0. And look at the walks for a guy that throws a knuckleball. 63 strikeouts, 5 walks. Coming off a career high 13 strikeouts. That's up and in, 2-2 on Tolley. And a matchup of him, R.A. Dickey. He wasn't even throwing the knuckleball until 2005 against him. CC Sabathia 9-3 and off a complete game win on Monday against Atlanta. Quintanilla has a lot of the attention of David Robertson, who's pitching with a 1-run lead. And even more of it.
Yeah, almost had him leaning then. But Robertson didn't make a strong throw to first base. David Robertson, unusual for a setup reliever because he's got very quick feet.
Quintanilla stays put on ball 3 outside, full count. Yankees bullpen is quiet. This inning belongs to Robertson.
I think you send him right now. The Mets can't play toe-to-toe with the Yankees. They don't have the power to do it. Send him and hope Tolley can find the ball through the infield.
There he goes. Pitch is high. Back-to-back walks, and it's 2 on, 1 out.
We've been following the Yankees and baseball for a long, long time, Joe. I can't remember David Robertson ever walking 2 guys in a row.
Larry Rothschild will come out of the dugout. Still no action for the Yankees in their pen. This is their best bet here in the 8th. But needing to throw strikes as Turner will come off the bench. And Justin will be the hitter with 2 on, 1 out. That cheer you just heard in the background was for Eli Manning, who was on the scoreboard here saying, "Let's go Mets."
It's a good move.
Why not? Winning 2 Super Bowls, he's awfully popular around here. And there are the runners on. Andres Torres comes into the game to pinch run at first, so Tolle is out for the rest of the night. And Torres represents the go-ahead run. We're in the 8th. Good game. 2 on, 1 out. And Turner, who had a big hit last night, coming off the DL with a sprained ankle, waits for the first from Robertson, hitting .267. Strike 1. Last night in the first inning, off the end of the bat, 2 outs against Andy Pettitte. Part of a 5-run first inning. Ike Davis with a 3-run shot for the Mets, and Andy Pettitte with some first inning trouble. And the starts he's made since coming back. Here's the 0-1. Foul, strike 2. On deck is the leadoff man, Nieuwenhuis. Talk about the Yankees' struggles with runners in scoring position this season. The Mets tonight 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Turner has a chance here. Ball 1. Last year, Turner came up in April, stayed with a big league club the rest of the way. Hit .260. 4 homers, 51 RBIs. 27-year-old waits. Robertson got him, 2 out. Got him looking, and Turner is gone. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks in the inning.
After the breaking ball away, watch where this pitch is. Martin wanted it up. Robertson inside corner to get Turner. Justin thought it was inside. I think he gave up on that. That ball cutting over the inside part of the plate.
And now the rookie Kirk Nieuwenhuis, who's 1 for 4 tonight with a home run back in the 3rd inning, his 7th. And this is rookie season. Trying to make something happen and take advantage of the 2 walks here in the 8th. Robertson deals ball 1. Corey Wade now starts to get loose, but this is a battle right now between Robertson and Nieuwenhuis. The 1-0. Jammed. It's a foul ball. Strike 1. Good pitch by Robertson in on the hands of Nieuwenhuis. Mets have lost 15 of their last 22 to the Yankees since 2009. This is a Mets club that this season is hit .281 with runners in scoring position and 2 out. They ask for a big hit out of Kirk Neuenhuis. Strike 2. And Robertson could strike out the side here in the 8th.
That fastball's moving all over the place. You saw the one to Justin Turner for the strikeout. And that fastball in under the hands of Neuenhuis.
On 1 and 2, Neuenhuis strikes out, and he strikes out the side in the 8th. 2 walks mixed in, 10 left on the night for the Mets. The first one, Hairston. Then Turner looking, Neuenhuis swinging. 4-3 Yankees after 8 here at Citi Field. Robertson, as he got back after striking out the side, walking 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Now Nikias takes over behind the plate. Andres Torres is in the game. He pinch ran. He's now in center. Jeremy Hefner is on the mound, the right-hander who has been a swing guy both out of the bullpen and in the rotation. Deals a strike to Nick Swisher. His double preceded the 3-run home run by Ibanez that tied the game in the 7th. 2 for 3 tonight, and he's been a hot hitter. Strike 2. Rafael Soriano's the closer now for the Yankees. He's getting loose with Valdespin, Wright, and Duda, the scheduled hitters for the Mets in the bottom of this 9th inning. 4-3 Yankees on top. They trailed until a 4-run 7th. And the difference in the game is the first ever pinch hit home run hit by Eric Chavez. It made it 4-3. That's ball 1.
Hefner recalled from Buffalo, the AAA affiliate of the Mets, on May 19th. That was the second time he was called up this year.
26-year-old right-hander. This is his first time this season As Tim said, he's been up before, but this is his first year where he's spent any time at the big league level as the count goes to 2-2. Hefner was claimed off waivers by the Mets leading into this season. He had been with the Pirates, before that San Diego. Swisher trying to get on to start the 9th inning. 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. There's Dan Worthen, pitching coach for the Mets.
Neither Hefner nor Worthen were satisfied with that 2-2 call by Tim McClellan.
3-2 pitch is swung on and missed, one away. As Swisher strikes out to start the 9th.
Good fastball down and in. That's a pitch you don't see left-handed hitters swing through a lot. That ball down. Normally their strikeout pitches on balls around the letters.
Here's Ibanez, who has the biggest swing of the night for the Yankees. Got him off the deck. They were down 3-0. He tied it with a 3-run home run in the 7th. 1 for 3 on the night. Breaking ball misses outside, ball 1. Russell Martin is next. 1-0 pitch is low. 2-0. Off the hands, fouled back and out of play. 2-1. Take a look at the bullpen and the work done. The one earned run allowed by the Mets was the home run allowed by Roush to Chavez in the 7th. That's the difference tonight so far. Strike 2. 2-2. And there's the guy that did it. With 1 out, Ibanez hits it in the air to right. Back at the track. Duda in front of the wall. 2 out. We'll give you now tonight's Burger King Smooth play of the game, and it's taking that pitch up and driving it out to left. Eric Chavez in the 7th, the difference as we play here in the 9th.
You can understand a hitter getting on top of a pitch like that. I mean, they're big league hitters with strong hands, but to launch it the other way, a high fastball like that, that is impressive.
Russell Martin's going to be lifted for a pinch hitter. Dwayne Wise will come off the bench, and Joe Girardi will use Chris Stewart behind the plate.
It's kind of odd. Wonder if he perhaps hurt himself blocking some of those pitches. Never know with catchers. Thumbs can become problems. Sprains from the, Robertson was throwing awfully hard. We'll have to wait and see. Russell's still out there, so don't know.
A ball and a strike. Dwayne Wise off the bench with Andrew Jones on deck, as the pitcher spot will follow if Wise does something to keep this top of the 9th alive. Here's a 1-1. Big swing and a foul straight back, strike 2. Again for the Mets, it'll be Val Despine, David Wright, and Lucas Duda in the bottom of this 9th inning. That is scooped up by Nikias. 2-2.
If Dwayne Wise does make the last out of the inning, Joe Girardi does have the luxury of putting the pitcher in the 8-hole. And then Chris Stewart, as the new catcher, would be batting 9th in case the Mets tie it in the 9th inning.
Just got a piece, did Wise. Valdez being the leadoff hitter for the Mets in the bottom of the inning is a guy who hit his first home run off Jonathan Papelbon of the Philadelphia Phillies. And we saw him pinch hit and make the final out of the game 2 Saturday nights ago in the Bronx when these two teams met. Washington Nationals beat the Orioles 3-1, so that means that the Mets don't rally. They'll be 3.5 out when they wake up tomorrow. And the Yankees, if they win, they'll be 2.5 games up on the Orioles. That is off the end of the bat. Nice play by Hefner off the mound, and he gets the out to end the inning and send us into the bottom of the ninth. Soriano will take over. They're the guys coming up. Valdez being right, and Duda for the Mets, down 4-3. Baseball night in America. The Mets will be in Los Angeles to take on the NL West leading Dodgers. So you have the A's against the Rangers in Texas, or the Diamondbacks, Brewers, Royals, Twins, Tigers, Rays, Padres, Rockies. Baseball night in America, presented by Budweiser, begins next Saturday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on Fox. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. We will be in LA for the Mets and the Dodgers. And you can see Joe Girardi talking to someone, saying that it's a stiff back for Russell Martin. That's why Chris Stewart is in the game, and why Dwayne Wise, who takes over in left, he likely would have come in either way to take over for Ibanez, pinch hit for him.
Right.
So it's Stewart behind the plate, and Rafael Soriano, who has the second most saves in baseball since taking over the role from Robertson, who took over for Mariano Rivera. 13 of 14, and the only blown save was 2 Sundays ago at home to the Mets. And he ended up getting the win on a home run by Russell Martin. That one drops in for a strike, a breaking ball to start the bottom of the ninth. Jordani Valdespin, who has 2 home runs, came into this game hitting .314 over his last 14 games. He's 1 for 4. With a double, a strikeout, 2 groundouts. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Soriano, a very deliberate worker, waiting and now bringing home a 1-1, a late swing and a foul, strike 2.
Soriano, very tough to pick up for left-handed batters. One of the things about the Yankee bullpen, they're all so different. They have two side armors in Rapata and Epley. Soriano at the end. David Robertson with the great stuff. A cutter and a good curveball.
Fastball swung on and missed, one away in the bottom of the 9th inning. And Soriano reared back and got it by Valdespin.
Blistering fastball out of the strike zone to get Valdespin.
Bullpen has racked up 7 strikeouts tonight, and what could get lost, Tim, is the work by Boone Logan.
Yeah, that's right. 2 strikeouts in a row when he came in.
Tying run at third in the bottom of the 7th after the Yankees had just gone ahead 4-3, and he struck out Lucas Duda and did the same to Daniel Murphy. And he was overpowering. Base hit to left. Tying run is on off the bat of David Wright. And now Lucas Duda, who leads this Mets club in home runs, will come to the plate. He's got 11.
Soriano has not given up a home run this year.
And the Mets have not had a walk-off home run this season. Duda had a chance in the 7th to tie it. With a long ball, he would win it here in the 9th. Ball 1 down and in.
Hey, Wright thought about running then. He has stolen 7 bases. He's been caught 7 times. Usually the element of surprise, but if Soriano pays no attention, he'll go.
He is wide-eyed watching Soriano. Big swing by Duda, strike 1.
Overly anxious for a young hitter.
And now a check on Wright at first. They may have seen the same thing from the Yankee dugout you saw from up here.
Yep.
You cannot go to sleep on David Wright. Duda's jammed. He fouls it back. Strike 2. Soriano put that last pitch in a good spot. Now he is up on the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Tying run at first, 1 out here in the 9th. The 1-2. Swung on and missed, 2 out. Second strikeout of the inning, and the bottom fell out of that pitch from Soriano.
Soriano playing on the anxious at bat of Duda. 2 breaking balls, and the 1-1 pitch fouled back, and this one, forget it. You're right, Joe. The bottom fell out of that one.
Yankees trying to win here tonight after the Mets won Game 1, 6-4 last night. And that fun matchup of Sabathia and R.A. Dickey in the finale tomorrow night. That's a tying run, 2 out. At the plate, Daniel Murphy, the guy who has not homered since last July. Ball 1 low. Been to the plate 345 times without going deep. Most plate appearances by any big leaguer this season without a home run. Waiting for a 1-0. That's a strike. A ball and a strike from Rafael Soriano, who's trying to save his 14th. A 1-out hit by Wright. He's at first with 2 out, and he gets another throw from Soriano.
The Yankee outfield, predictably and understandably, in their no doubles defense. Notice how deep all outfielders are. Swisher near the track, Granderson near the track. So is Dwayne Wise in left.
Here's a 1-1. Wright is going, and here's a fly ball into right in the corner. Swisher, room, and that's it. Yankees win it 4-3. Murphy gave it a ride, but he came up short down the right field line. Rapata gets the win in a 3-hour, 14-minute game. Roush the loss, and Soriano, it came with a gulp at the end as he saves his 14th of the season.
Not too many gulps this season for Soriano. Think about it. He had not given up a home run, and Murphy hadn't had a home run since last July, and he hits it pretty well. Well enough to give Yankee fans that same gulp that Nick Swisher had.
The Mets end the night by stranding 11. A big smile on the face of Nick Swisher. And Rafael Soriano gave up the hit. The runner was going, David Wright, on that fly ball into right that fell just short off the bat of Daniel Murphy. Yankees back to a 2.5 game lead in the AL East, while the Mets drop a game to the Washington Nationals. For Tim and Ken, I'm Joe. More post-game coverage from the MLB Network studios when we return. First 2 games have been split in this Subway Series.